G'day guys and welcome to Aussie English. My objective here is to teach you guys the English spoken down under. So whether you want to speak like a fair dinkum Aussie, or you just want to understand what the flippin' hell we're on about when we're having a yarn, you've come to the right place. So sit back, grab a cuppa and enjoy Aussie English. G'day guys, welcome to this episode of Aussie English. Today I'm going to do an episode here on two expressions. So we're going to call this episode a 2 for 1. 2 for 1, that's where you get two things for the price of one, as we say in English. So you go to the shops, you buy one banana, you get one free. That's getting two for the price of one, or a 2 for 1 deal. 2 for 1. So today I thought I would do two of the expressions that I used in the previous Walking with Pete episode. And those phrases are going to be to laugh one's head off, or to laugh your head off, and the phrase at each other's throats. So to be at each other's throats or to go at each other's throats. So I'm really trying to work this new sort of pattern where I go over things that we've already used or that I've already highlighted in previous episodes. So in the previous Walking with Pete episode, I've written up a manuscript and then I've highlighted all of the phrases or words that I've used that may be a little more complicated, maybe a little more idiomatic. So at the bottom of the PDF on the website for that episode, you'll find a breakdown of all those phrases and a definition. But I also thought I would do an expression episode where I can talk about both of these expressions. So let's start. The first one, to laugh one's head off. To laugh one's head off. This just means to laugh uncontrollably. So John told a joke that was so funny he nearly laughed his head off, for example. So to laugh, guys, I'm sure all of you know the verb to laugh, you know. To laugh. The head is the upper part of the human body, so your skull, cranium, your brain is inside your head, your eyes, nose, ears, and mouth are around your head. So to laugh one's head off. When we say off at the end there, that means to laugh so hard that it comes off or falls off, you know, to laugh your head off of your body effectively. So an example could be someone's told a really hilarious joke and as a result they're laughing uncontrollably, and you could say that that person was laughing their head off. We also say this phrase quite often where we'll imply that we've almost laughed our heads off or our head off. So you could say, I almost laughed my head off. I nearly laughed my head off. I practically laughed my head off. I just about laughed my head off. And all of these phrases just mean that they infer the same thing, but you know, it's just that you almost did that as opposed to completely laughed your head off. So there's that idea of exaggeration where no one really laughs so hard that their head falls off. And obviously you can just say it as normal. I totally laughed my head off. It was so funny I laughed my head off. So let's go over a little pronunciation for this one, guys. To laugh. To laugh. To laugh. Your head off. Your head off. Your head off. To laugh your head off. To laugh your head off. To laugh your head off. And now we'll conjugate through the past tense of I was laughing my head off. I was laughing my head off. You were laughing your head off. He was laughing his head off. She was laughing her head off. You were laughing your heads off. We were laughing our heads off. They were laughing their heads off. So now we'll jump over to the other phrase, guys. We'll do the second one in this episode of 2 for 1 phrases. And the second phrase is to be at each other's throats or to go at each other's throats. So at each other's throats, what does this mean? It means to quarrel or to fight consistently, so to keep fighting all the time, again and again and again. You could say that brothers and sisters, or brothers and other brothers, or sisters and other sisters, so siblings, can be at each other's throats quite often, where they're fighting over something, say a toy. So what do these words mean? To be at, or to go at, is used to sort of suggest that you're going for something, you're going after something, that you're attacking. And so an example of how to use to be at or to go at, a few examples could be, the lion went at the hunter and nearly killed him. I was so hungry, I went at my dinner like there was no tomorrow. So that means like I was so hungry that I ate my dinner, I attacked my dinner, I went for my dinner so sort of vigorously, so intensely, like there was no tomorrow, which kind of suggests that I ate that meal as if I was going to die before tomorrow. So it was like it was my last meal. I really, really wanted to eat that meal. So I went at it. And you could also say, he never stops pestering me or asking me for things. He's at me constantly. So it's like he's constantly attacking me. He's constantly pestering me. He's constantly asking me for things. He's at me constantly. So the next word, throat. Throat. A throat is the front part of your neck. So you could also call this your gullet, your esophagus, windpipe, trachea. So you can get food caught in your throat. If you're sick, you might have a sore throat. On Game of Thrones, there are a lot of people who have their throats cut. And we'll go over the phrase or the words each other's, each other's. Each other's means one another's. It's the same as one another's. So for example, if you're at each other's throats, one of you is at the other person's throat and you are at their throat. So it's that kind of, I'm doing something to you, you're doing something to me. At each other's. We're playing with each other's toys. This would mean that I was playing with your toy and you were playing with my toy. They're driving each other's cars. That would mean that one person is driving someone else's car and that someone else is driving the other person's car. So they're driving each other's car. So now let's do an exercise for that. To be at. To be at. To be at. Each other's. Each other's. Each other's. To be at each other's throats. 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 And now we'll go through this a few times following the sentence, we were at each other's throats. We were at each other's throats. We were at each other's throats. They were at each other's throats. They were at each other's throats. You were at each other's throats. You were at each other's throats. Anyway, guys, that's probably enough for today's episode. I hope you like this episode. I hope you like me going over phrases that I've touched on, that I've mentioned in previous episodes, and I hope that allows you guys to hear these phrases more than, say, one time only in one episode, and then practice them, obviously, even if you're just listening to these episodes. So we'll keep this one under 10 minutes, and I'll see you soon, guys. See ya. Thanks for listening to the Aussie English podcast, guys. If you haven't already, please come and join the community on Facebook at www.facebook.com/the Aussie English podcast, where I make daily posts about anything and everything related to Australia. Also, if you're enjoying the podcast, then please leave a review on iTunes or Stitcher or whichever platform you're listening to it through, as it'll help the podcast grow. Thanks again, guys, and enjoy your day.